Hey guys, wanted to get a review in on my SPY trade for today. Um, Wanted to do a quick review on that. Um, as we all know, the market's been weak. It's still weak. Really not looking for the market to have a strong, sustained bounce for a little bit. I don't think this is the bottom, but we'll see. Anything can happen. But wanted to review my SPY trade. All right, so going back on Wednesday, you can see on Wednesday we had a huge red day, and so I was expecting um, either for us to go sideways or some initial down movement today um, in the market since we had such a big red day yesterday. So this is what the daily looked like. If I go into the 4 hour, you can see on the 4 hour here we had bearish divergence coming in, so I was expecting some weakness in the day somewhere. And then if we look at the Qs, the Qs was actually breaking out of a 4 hour squeeze to the downside. So that was another thing I looked at to give me somewhat of a bias towards the downside or some downside throughout the day today. So now let's get into the trade. So if we look at a 5 minute chart, same setup as I always got. If you want to know what the setup I have is, you can review some of my previous videos. I've got that setup in there. But anyways, got into the trade here. You can see this was a pretty good setup for me. I ended up entering here around 391.17, and then I exited the trade around 388.76. This was for a 67% return on the trade, so it was a pretty good trade. And you can see it was what a 25-minute trade. These are 5 minute candles, so this is on the 5 minute chart. And I drew in the pink box for my uh, I guess my ratio for stop loss. So essentially, this is my risk here. So this is my risk box, and then this is going to be my reward. And you always want your risk to reward ratio, to be a 2 to 1 at least. And so you can see here, I was risking 50 cents essentially to make uh, versus a $3 move. So, um, anyways, I essentially entered here, like I said, and then now I would have closed the trade out if we would have had a close above the 9 EMA. I actually wanted to enter right at the 9. That would have made my risk reward that much better, but I didn't get that pullback I wanted on this bar, and I didn't want to risk the trade just going down, so I ended up entering a little bit early. You can see it pulled back up here, but it didn't close back above that 9. It came back down, closed here, and then the trade took off. And the reason why I stayed in the trade here is because we had that bearish divergence coming in. Plus, we had a cross on the stove, meaning we had downward momentum coming in as well. Um, and the Q and the VIX both. The VIX obviously looked very bullish, and the Qs looked very bearish. So that's what kept me in the trade as well. The reason why I exited the trade here, we came down, crossed VWAP, and I seen that we had based here, I seen that we were starting to base here. Once we started to somewhat create this doji, I seen we started basing here um, in the doji. So then I ended up exiting the trade, and you can see I didn't obviously see these bars, but you can see here once we came down, we were essentially um, right at that TTM squeeze, and then even though we had downward pressure um, moving forward after I got out of the trade, you can see we kind of just based, went down a little bit more, and kind of based at that 388 level, And if I move out here and go back, you can even see the main reason I got out is because you can see all this price action, right? All these candles kind of around this area here where this doji's at. So I didn't want to get caught up in that mess. I mean, we could have easily popped back up, or we could have easily went back down. But this was kind of, a messy scenario here. So I wanted to get out before we decided what we were going to do there. So, anyways, pretty good trade. Like I said, 67% return on the SPY. Just kind of taking what the market gives me. A lot of back and forth, a lot of wickiness at the beginning of the day. My advice is just wait for your setup to come and then trade it, right? So, anyways, if you got any questions, comments, if you do like the content, please like and subscribe. Definitely trying to grow the channel, and hopefully you guys grew your account. Hopefully you took A+ setups, you mitigated risk, and you grew your account. So with that being said, I'll talk with you guys later.